How? He just does. He wants to hump you. So does Sainid. No man will. Osrith began, but Constantine put his hand over her mouth, his other around her back, wrestling her to his bed, pressing down onto her body with his. Osrith won their duels because she was swifter and could move fast to avoid blows, and evade attack, and because he didn't dry. But Constantine was stronger. His hands sought under her woolen undergarments for her skin, his hand pressing onto the wound on her arm. "Stop it, Constantine!" Osrith shouted, wrenching her arm free. "It hurts." Vapors of spirit diffused around them as Constantine breathed in her face. "Today it is my birthday. I am 12, the right age to be a warrior. My father thought I fought superbly, and he drew me to him as a man, and he gave me the welcome water that a man gets on the night of his first battle. I drank it, and feel so foolish." "Stop it, Constantine. Is this a trick?" "I don't like your tricks." Osrith wriggled under his weight, but it was no use. It was clear what he intended to do, as his hand sought between her legs. Osrith had sworn she would fight anyone who wanted to hump her. But with Constantine, it was different. They were Osrith and Constantine, who fought like a bag of cats. She made herself relax. "It doesn't hurt if you relax," one serving girl had told another when she thought Osrith was out of earshot. Then something hard pressed inside her body, once, twice, several times. She felt nothing, apart from a little discomfort as Constantine pushed himself up and down, up and down. Why did people choose this? It was no wonder men had to trick women into it. Her mind thought instead about the battle, and the power of the conquest and the glory of the victory. 88,888,888. It was still night when Osrith woke from a sleep. She was next to Constantine, who was still asleep. She closed her eyes again. But the same insistent shaking of her shoulder, and Constantine's, could not be ignored. Finally, Sainid's deputy, in desperation to rouse them, then began pulling the blankets off them. His eyes narrowed when he saw Osrith, for it was clear it was just Constantine he needed. "You are to come," he told Constantine, who was pulling on his clothes. "Yes, be prepared. Your father requires you and Domnall in the throne room." "Come on, Osrith," Constantine chided, when she hadn't moved. "Come with me." 88,888,888. But the king was not on the throne waiting for Constantine. Indeed, only his cousin, Domnall, was there. "Your father wished to tell you himself," Domnall said. "There is plan to get you and I out of the country and over to our aunt's kingdom." Constantine stared at his cousin, probably through the effects of recovering from the welcome water. Then, he stared into the distance. The sight before them made him gasp. Osrith started too, at the sight of the king. "My son," the king managed, "there is a plot, a plan to seize this throne." He shuffled over to Constantine, looking critically at Osrith. "You are both to go, to Loch Lomond and the sea beyond, exiled from this kingdom. Elmuir waits for you in Deoir, the home of our beloved St. Columba." This was a shock. Surely a plot of such magnitude could have been anticipated and stopped. "What about Osrith?" Constantine demanded. "I'm not going without her." He seized Osrith's arm and pulled her close, as if his life depended on her. "You said she was my guard. There are UNA copyright ill in Ireland. Domnall said they are murdering bastards." "You are a new UNA copyright ill yourself," the king smiled, amused, though with much pain on his face. Several generations passed. "Your aunt Elmuir is married to the king of the UA copyright ill. Then I'll need her." Constantine persisted, as if his father's words were the justification to his decision. Looked at Osrith critically, as if he was seeing her for the first time in his life, his eyes lingering on her body, dressed as she was still in her wool undergarments in the way her uncle used to sometimes, half judgmental with a sneer on his face. Then, he shifted in pain against his throne. "And I want to come." Osrith hissed the words by Constantine's shoulder. In response, he gripped her forearm tighter and stared back to his father, a steel in his eye which Osrith would come to know much better. He was immovable. Clearly the king knew it too and nodded very slightly, almost imperceptibly, and Constantine turned to Osrith and for the first time since she had known him, smiled at her. "Get ready." "Now prepare," said Domhnall. "We travel west, through the valley. We are going promptly, but leisurely, to make it seem as if we are on progress following our outstanding victory over the Norse. A boat awaits us beyond Loch Lomond." Domhnall turned and bent over her. "Can you ride a horse, Osrith?" Domhnall said, when she had all that she needed. There had been no time to get her silver, but she had at least got fed a sword from the armory, stepping over the comatose bodies of household warriors, who were littering the guardhouse. She shook her head. "No time to teach you now," said Domhnall. "Go, into the wagon cart." He lifted her up and she toppled into the straw, her father's sword clattering against her calves. "Constantine," Domhnall instructed, as the boy made to follow her, "you're with me." It was the last time Constantine would ever see his father. That proto-dawn, where the morning sunlight was just a dull, grey gloaming of light, dull and wet, warm but soaking drizzle, was an image which would stay with Osrith for the rest of her life.